Hi, my name is Maria Leach, and I was born in Ireland in 1954 in a small rural town called Mullingar, County Westmeath. It's about 90 minutes from Dublin, which is the capital of Southern Ireland.
What age were you when you first moved to the U.S., and what state did you initially move to?
I was 21 years old when I moved, and I moved initially to Michigan. My port of entry was Detroit, and my father was living in the United States at the time, some distance from Detroit in a suburb.
Oh, okay. So you moved here when you were already an adult. That is interesting. What made you move here? Why did you relocate?
I had just graduated from college, and I was very unclear about what I was going to do next. And I came out originally just for the summer, and then found that I could pursue a graduate degree and then settle down to make application to graduate schools.
Well, wonderful. Do you remember what it was like when you first moved here? Was assimilating to American culture difficult?
It was more difficult than, in retrospect, than at the time. At first, everything was so new, even though we were pretty heavily exposed to American culture in Ireland. You know, there was a lot of American TV, and so there was that sense of what America would look like. I was really surprised at how low-key it was where we were living, and also surprised at just the considerable cultural differences in how people interacted and related to one another.
Oh, I'd love to hear a little bit more about that. Like anything specific?
I think that it was a challenge to have an accent, because many people found it intriguing. You know, you have a cute accent, but it was hard to get beyond that in talking with people. But that changed when I went to college here in the U.S. and became part of a cohort of graduate students whom I really got along well with and enjoyed working with. And I found that they were very open and very willing and eager to help one another. And I liked that.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
So you started off in Detroit, correct?
Yeah, outside a place called Rochester, Michigan, which is about 40 miles outside. In a fairly.
Were there a lot of Irish people there that you met or noticed?
Nope, none.
Okay.
None. And I think I went to one Irish American event, and I was so offended by it because it was sponsored.
Really?
People had come from Ireland to the United States, a number of generations before, and their perception of Ireland was quite different than my experience of it. So I saw Ireland as a progressive, modern country, and some of the Irish American events that I attended were very old school, would have been more in line with my grandparents than with me.
I see. So you think that's kind of a stereotype given to Irish people?
Yeah, I think when people came here, there was a tremendous amount of bonding around the journey. When I came here, I was coming completely, of my own free will. I had a lot of choice in the matter, so I wasn't pushed in any particular direction. But
sure.
I think that
you
Irish
weren't
immigrants,
escaping religious persecution or anything like that.
Nothing. Fiscal persecution maybe. The Irish economy was really bad at the time, and people I graduated college with we were pretty much all emigrating somewhere. The unemployment rate in Ireland was really bad. It was, close to 40%, and
oh boy.
Yeah, so it was. So a lot of my friends actually left. They came to the U.S., not to Michigan, but other places, or to Australia or England.
I see. Yeah, for work opportunities.
Yeah, career development kind of thing.
Sure. So when you probably remember like some of the differences as far as dining etiquette. Do you remember anything that stands out to you about the differences between just the way that we approach food and eat our food here in comparison with Ireland?
Very much so. We went out to eat, and I ordered strawberry shortcake, and I was expecting, a small piece of cake, and instead I got what I thought was for the whole table, and it was an individual serving, and I think I was just amazed
At the portion size.
at the portion size. You know, it was just huge, and I thought, oh, this is to share, you know, and quickly found out, no, that wasn't. That was my individual dessert. So that was a surprise. You know, the amount of food that was served in restaurants was quite different.
Anything about like dining etiquette, just the way that people eat and converse while they're eating?
I think Ireland was a little more formal when people went out to eat then. It's not now. I think it's much more Americanized than it was then. So the way the table was set for dining was a little different. You know, we would use knife and fork on both sides, you know, set on either side of a placemat or the tablecloth. And I still eat with a knife and fork at the same time. I don't just cut meat with a knife and then set it down and use a fork. I use knife and fork.
If I'm correct, I think that's called the continental style of eating.
Oh, I didn't know that, but that's
yeah. I've been doing research on it for this, and yeah, that there's the American style and the continental style. So
right. So we grew up with the continental style. So that was different. What else? Refills. I remember in the restaurant we were in, we were offered like a lot of soda if we ordered a Coke or something. So there was a lot of refills, and that was different. So generally it was much more casual than I was accustomed to. Casual dining and plenty of food.
I see. And do you ever go to Irish restaurants here?
No, Ireland is not known for its cuisine.
Yeah, well, but there are no shortage of pubs and restaurants all around San Diego. Yeah, they do have a meat and potato type menu, but I was just wondering if you had ever gone, if you thought that they were doing a good job.
Well, I think anytime. I think anytime I've eaten at a quote unquote Irish restaurant here, the food has been very comparable to what Ireland would produce.
Okay.
But one of the things I enjoy here is the diversity that's available. You know, I eat a lot of Indian food now and Thai and, you know, some things that are probably quite a bit healthier than meat and potatoes.
Yeah. Well, that is certainly kind of, those are the staples of Irish cuisine as I've been doing my research on it. But
yeah,
I think that's, sorry?
Yeah, I was going to say it was really sort of survival, heavy carbs. It was sort of survival kind of diet, I think. And not
that just kind of carried over?
Yeah, and I don't think was a whole lot of preparation. Food to my recall was always overcooked, and I think part of that was just sanitation. That refrigeration wasn't very popular, and so you would
when you were growing up, even
when I was growing up, yeah, you would cook food until there was no possibility of bacteria. So, and I still like my toast cooked, my beef and my toast, everything overcooked.
Oh, I see. Okay. Well, yeah, some things don't really ever fade from our taste.